with this. We're gonna go with it. Okay, so I just started the recording. We'll see. We only have a few items on the agenda, so maybe before we start, and then we can do some quick updates, and that way I can mute my mic while other folks give anyone. Maybe we'll just go around really quick based on the list here. We've all been on stand-ups before, so I don't know if there's any updates. I know, Anurad, you had to run last week's as well, so if you have anything you wanted to share too.
Yeah, just one couple of things. One quick thing is about the release. So I had asked Satish to start the 1.3 release. I think we didn't get to it this week because of other things that are happening. But I will remind him today as well. Today morning he was not able to join because he had some emergency. But hopefully we will start it by today, or definitely by tomorrow we should start. And if the process is streamlined now, we might even be able to get the release out by tomorrow evening. If not, then very early next week. So that's about the release. Other than that, I don't have any other major updates. Just last time, we wanted to talk about when Tom was here. We wanted to talk about basically one of the things we have been sort of skirting around and not have a clear guidance is around this governance of scalers. And but I said that it'll be better if we have a larger group, including you and Ahmed. And so I just wanted to bring it up that as we grow and there are lots of people. There are a couple of axes in this. One is right now, as you know, scalers are included with KEDA, right? So do we want a model where it's not included with KEDA? And the second is that should we have like a model where if somebody contributes a particular scalar, it's sort of tied in, right? If somebody contributes a scalar, are they the owners? And if there's an issue in that scalar, will they go and sort of look at it because they own it? So the ownership of scalars itself. So I think those are the couple of things, but I'm sure there are more. So that's just one thing I wanted to flag, that we should start thinking about. And we may well decide that, hey, this is a very clean model and we just want to include it. And so it's KEDA is like comes with batteries included, like everything is included. Don't have to worry about installing scalars from outside. But we have to tackle it explicitly at some point. So
makes sense. I think that makes sense. I have some thoughts, but we'll circle back on that one, and I'll see if how everyone else is thinking about it too. That helps, Hunter. Thanks.
Yeah, that's it.
Sandra, anything from your side? And apologies, I know I missed last week's, and I was spending a little bit of time trying to catch up on issues. I don't know if there's anything top of mind from your side.
No, nothing from my side at all.
Great. And Zibyanek, I know we synced briefly on Tuesday. I don't know if you have anything from you.
No, just what's on the agenda. So nothing else.
And it's mostly, I think what you've been doing too, you mentioned in Tuesday, is some of the duck typing work.
Yeah. That's the thing I want to focus now. So I have some time. So that's related to to the proposed agenda on the developer branch on the GitHub. So basically.
Sweet. I wondered if Tom put this one. We could jump straight to this one. I think this makes a lot of sense, honestly, to spin up the V2 branch, because all the duck typing I think would go under the 2.x release.
Yeah. So it's more about like the core will be a little bit rewritten. So I think it will make sense to create the dev branch for the V2, and it shouldn't affect scalars at the moment, I think. So basically, if there is like a pull request to the master branch, we can clone it to the developer branch as well, like to include the latest changes on the scalars. If we don't want to change the scalars somehow, or I mean like the signature or whatever.
Yeah, I don't think so. I'm trying to remember. I wonder if we even have like a label for breaking or something. Like I don't. I think the only thing that we've really flagged that would be changing between V1 and V2 is the duck typing.
Maybe it was maybe in the under the V2 release or something like that.
Oh, sure. Yes, that's a good one. Yeah, because we have this one.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's duck typing. Oh, it was the we need to change to this namespace.
Yeah, I will include it as well into the change. So
Great.
this is related. So that's the main, basically that's the main reason why I wanted to keep the separate branch, because you know there will be different CRDs and etc.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and if you have if you need any help with that, Anra, do you have any concerns with us spinning up a V2 branch on the repo?
No, totally makes sense. That's the right way to do it.
Cool, great, awesome. So I'll just go through the rest of this quickly then. So for the CNCF, is mentioned in the agenda. So Michelle Nurali just this morning agreed to sponsor KEDA into the CNCF. Liz Rice had agreed earlier last week. So we have 2 sponsors. We have 1 left. I actually was messaging William from Red Hat today because he mentioned he might be able to help pull in the 3rd one. So I think we're in the final stretch now. We just need to get that last sponsor. And it looks like we might need artwork, which I'm just looking at this now as my kitchen gets destroyed behind me. Let me see. I think we already have, like we have the icons in the repo, so I don't know if we need anything else other than assets we already have. So okay. So that's that one. This is a good one because I like over the last few weeks too, as we've kind of made progress, the stand-ups have been more short for one. But I'm also wondering, we talked ages ago about maybe moving these to every 2 weeks. And at the time there were still like whatever, 10 people joining every week. So we're like, let's keep it going, but we'll revisit it later. So this is just any thoughts on, should we either just keep them kind of short and quick and maybe we'll just do like 15-30 minute stand-ups and keep it every week? Should we move it to every 2 weeks, every month? I don't know if anyone on the call has an opinion on it.
I just have a quick opinion. I kind of agree now, just to the point that you were just making, that I think weekly seems, and just looking at, I think exactly what you said, that we don't have so many updates every week. Fewer people are coming in. The same people are not coming in every week, and 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 so except I guess Sandra has been really Sandra, me, and you for most part, but otherwise, like most people are coming in every 2 weeks as it is, right? So my 2 cents is, yes, I think it makes sense to have it every 2 weeks. uh, and if for now we can still keep it at 45 minutes for every 2 weeks. If we think that's also too much, then we can reduce it to 30 minutes every 2 weeks. So that's what I feel.
Makes sense. Sandra and Zibyanek, I'd be curious if either of you have a thought, because I know like Zibyanek, this is kind of our primary touch point for some of the work you're doing. I don't know if you'd prefer shorter weekly ones, Sandra.
This item was written by me in the agenda because I think that, or I concur on what you said. I think that we don't have that much changes recently, so we can change to bi-weekly. And even like, I think that the shorter meeting will keep the people try to focus on the things and not, not spend too much time. So I'm okay with this.
Yeah, I prefer bi-weekly meetings as well.
Great. So we have a unanimous quorum of 4 folks, but that's perfect. Okay, so I'll reach out to Tom and let him know. I think this is good. We'll probably plan on just doing that right away. So we'll have our next meeting be on the 26th of March, and then we'll move to biweekly from there and see how that goes, and we can always adjust as needed.
You might want to add another section for the 26th, because Tom proposed on the, 19th, to talk about the governance, because he won't be able to join until then.
I see. Okay. Yeah, I'll reach out to Tom and see what he wants to do. Oh yeah, this is where he wants to do the governance. You're right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Thank you.
Yeah, so we can meet next week and then start the bi-weekly schedule
Yeah,
after the next week.
we should. Yeah, that's fair. We should just see what his availability is, and as you said. So one quick thing, since we're talking about having a kind of changing the schedule for the meetings, should we also talk about? I just noticed like Knative has like uh, a scheduled release where they do it every 6 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So do we want to go something like that? Like whatever happens, like TikTok, we just say, hey, every 3 weeks, every 4 weeks, the next release is going to come
I
out.
think it's a good idea because
Yeah.
I know there were some discussions on the like recent scares.
So there's no confusion. We just say that this is what it is, and we are and right now it's mostly people from within Microsoft doing it, like Ahmed and Satish have done it. But we can have a release owner, and we can even share those responsibilities between different people for the next release. Have it once in 4 weeks or 3 weeks, whatever it makes sense, and just make it a little bit more formal. It seems to be like.
Yeah, I think it's good for users because then they do know what to expect. Like
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's exactly right. So they know that okay, this release is coming, so on, and
I think it also makes the release process a bit more open source community as well, which is pretty cool.
yes, exactly, right. Like I would, it would be awesome if like Zibnik or Sandra, if you could be the next release owners and so on, and we can make it completely open.
yeah, makes sense.
Yeah,
makes sense. Yep. I think that works. I like part of me wants. I like initially I wondered like is 6 weeks the right one too, but there's the other part where I want to balance like someone gets a PR merged and they want to get the docs up and kind of like have it end to end. I'm wondering like once every 3 weeks. There's also the risk too that if nothing solid has been popped in within a 3-week period, they're pretty light releases, but maybe that's okay too.
I think that's okay. We should just like but I think the regularity and the fact that people can depend on having a particular schedule actually helps a lot, I feel.
And do you have a preference on it on time span, like 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, 2 weeks?
I think we have reached a stage where once in 4 weeks sounds okay, but that's not based on any scientific analysis. Like
Sure.
I'm just
Yeah, it's basically once a month. So
yeah,
I
exactly.
think
Well, once a month, like a monthly release.
I think 4 weeks is good as well because that would fall on a stand-up week as well, or Scrum week.
That's a really good idea. That's very good. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, I think we should go with that. So probably starting with 1.4. So maybe Honored we'll look. So we might still do the weekly next week for Tom. I think we'll probably plan on that just so no one has to worry about it too much. And then maybe we'll plan the 1.4 release would be 4 weeks after March 19th.
Yeah.
I think, and then we'll just kind of go on the every other week cadence from there.
Yeah.
The 19th is actually 2 weeks from now, so that we could actually start it bi-weekly.
I see. You're right. Yeah. So when Tom created this, or when whoever, he actually did. Yeah. So we could actually switch to bi-weekly now, and then maybe we'll still just do the release 4 weeks after this one, so they do line up. And so 1.4 would be on whatever 4 weeks after March 19th, or I guess 4 weeks from today. That's the two choices on Red. Do we want to do 4 weeks from today or 4 weeks from March 19th?
Let's see when we get this release first. So 1.3, right? If the 1.3 for some reason, if people are not available and so on, or it takes more time, then we'll figure it out based on that. Is that okay?
Yeah, it would put us on April 2nd, potentially.
Yeah, potentially.
Okay, this is actually really good. I think these are actually really good changes to help add some more consistency and encourage involvement too, so it doesn't feel too ad hoc. Great, awesome, very good topics. On governance then, so that's the last thing on my thinking here, Anirudh, and I know Tom has this issue, so now I'm curious. My initial thinking before I open this issue was going to be for governance. I could take a stab at opening a pull request maybe on the doc site, which just kind of describes and defines our governance. I think I've kind of vocalized it not too concretely in the past. And so the thinking is kind of just like, hey, this is what comes out of the box. This is how you should think about creating new scalers. This is what those different like if you see something as community sponsored or company sponsored, here's the difference to that. So just defining some of that. Some of what Tom has here as well. He might go a little bit like, how do we manage access to our Docker Hub account? I guess, yeah, if it's a commute, like if it's this durable task Docker thing, which is a good one. Oh, so maybe the action item though is, I think I could take a stab before our next meeting, and I'll tag Tom on this. We're pretty much IMing daily at this point. That at least we can have a proposal to go with. And so maybe on the 19th, we'll plan on having the proposal and we'll really just discuss it. I'll try to have the PR open ahead of time so folks can review it. And then we can all just either give a thumbs up or a thumbs down, or say we need to make some more concrete changes before we merge that in.
Sounds good.
Okay, cool. Jeff to take a stab at writing governance proposal to go onto the docs site and linked in README. Okay, great. Any other topics before we want to wrap up?
No. Yeah. So okay. So just confirming for the CNCF sandbox. So the only thing we are left is just one more person saying, one more TOC member actually including or willing to sponsor. That's it, right? And then we are in sandbox.
As far as I know, yeah. Like
okay.
it's once we get that third vote, I don't
Yeah.
know if we have to like wait for them to actually have a meeting to give their thumbs up. But as far as I understand it, yeah, they give that last vote and we're done.
Okay, great. That's awesome.
Yep. Long journey.
Do you know, just one last question, do you know if the Alexander or somebody, they were working on including KEDA and Knative, did that get merged? Is it actually there? I'm just curious. Did you get
No, it is still like work in progress, but
okay.
it is going forward. They basically add like, or discussing the right annotations for Knative, so they can annotate the objects on Knative, and it will basically fill the necessary options to the scaled object for the KEDA scale object. So
oh, great.
I can send the issue or the pull request number. Just
I was just curious that if if that went through, and if we can now sort of say that Knative uses KEDA. So.
They are starting with the Kafka source at first, because they have several, like the event sources, basically the same thing as scalars.
Yes.
And they're starting with the Kafka source, and once it's in, they will basically do the rest thing for the other event sources. Yeah, I got the issue number, so I will put it in the chat. Okay.
Perfect, and I'll link that in. And it looks like Tom is haunting our notes from far away. Cool, great.
Okay,
right.
Thanks, Jeff.
Yeah, thanks everyone for joining. We'll plan again on March 19th being the next meeting. I'll just make sure on Slack and Twitter and even the Google Calendar. I'll try to open a pull request today then, so that everyone knows that that's the change. I'll probably even, honestly, next week, I'll probably just join and make my screen share and be like, it's happening next week. But I'll sort that all out. I think that's easy enough.
So just since you're here, your kids are going to school?
Yeah, they're all fine in school. Honestly, I think kids are low risk enough with the coronavirus stuff. I think they'll be good. So it lets me work from home, which has been fine. Honestly, I'm able to focus a lot when I work from home because I don't get kind of people asking me side questions. So it has its pros and cons.
Okay, cool.
Great. Thanks, everyone. Stay
Bye-bye.
safe, and we'll talk to everyone in 2 weeks.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Mhm.